Right, okay, no worries. We've got some modern craft beer in front of us, and should be no worries. And let's see what it's like. Lervig from Norway. Yeah, no worries. Alcohol-free beer up next. Welcome back to Views and Brews. I'm Brendan, and this is a beer, and I have one of these mental blocks with this beer. I keep getting Lervig mixed up with Tool. It's not the brewery I get mixed up, it's where they come from. One is from Norway, one is from Denmark. Somehow I've got to remember that Lervig is in Norway and Denmark is in Denmark. Tool brewery is in Denmark. Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to stop saying the opposite. I keep getting it wrong. But anyway, I have these two of these beers. I've got a grapefruit one, I think. Yeah. These are in the No Worries range. Have a look at this from Lervig Brewery from Norway. And they're really interesting beers because I think what the modern craft brewery brings to the game is wild experimentation. You know, we're trying to, you know, we've had all of this, you know, white chocolate pastry stout this and, you know, sour lactose IPAs or whatever. We've had all these different kinds of experimentation in alcoholic beer, but we've not really sort of explored or seen what's on offer from the non-alcoholic side. And I guess what the challenges for the breweries and the brewers is, what are you going to do for people sat down in a craft beer bar with all their craft beer buddies, and you know, either you're driving or you're doing dryjanuary like I am, or you're cutting down on your calories and you don't want to just have an alcoholic drink, or you've got somewhere to go later on and you can't have a drink for whatever reason. What are you going to offer them? Because if we keep offering all of these old style 330ml non-alcoholic lagers that feel like they're just there just to, you know, to keep the alcohol-free people a bit quiet, subdued, and, you know, just keep them happy. If we keep going down that route, then we're just going to end up with really, really boring, bland and tasteless and, you know, non-alcoholic beers that don't actually offer any kind of really good, satisfying, flavoursome enjoyment. And so I've had one of these Lervig beers, and I was shocked by the standard, the quality of the standard of it, because I actually finished the beer. I did the video and then I finished the beer back inside, and I said to myself, I could actually just include a can of that just in my normal drinking session. So, you know, if I was having, like, you know, a barrel-aged barley wine or something, and you know, and you've sat down and you've just had a 10% 330ml bottle of something in a bar, and you just say to yourself, I need to back off a little bit on the alcohol, then why not slip in an alcohol-free option like this? If it takes it away from that, oh, it's missing alcohol flavor, or it doesn't taste like it has anything that would interest me in it. So if that's now turned around and breweries are able to provide something that does have a whole load of flavor and yet provides you with 0.5% alcohol, you know, maybe you have one at lunchtime, maybe you have one out inside a beer garden, you know, you're having lunch with your family, but you actually want to offer to drive or something, or you just don't want to have too much alcohol at lunchtime. Look at this one anyway. Fabulous looking color. So there's a multitude of reasons to add these beers into your session of beers, but that's like no other looking craft beer, non-alcoholic craft beer that I've seen so far. Maybe you have, but I haven't. It has a lightly semi-stable head on the top. They're fairly big bubbles, in fairness, but it's completely murky. opaquely so, and slightly on the darker side. I don't know if that means there's oxidation or anything going on, but it looks murky, really, really murky. I don't know what to expect from this beer. Let's quickly read it before I say anything. Barley, wheat, so it's got wheat in it, hops, yeast, and that's pretty much all it tells you. 0.5%, no worries, from Lervig. And and the first thing I'm getting on the nose is an abundance of aroma. I thought just for a flicker of a second that I might have got rosebud, rose petal, which is something that I've not really had on the nose before. Let me just get that again. I've no idea what hops or anything about this beer or anything that's in it at all. I've just found out there's wheat in it. I thought for a flicker there I got some sort of like Turkish delight rosebuddy sort of aromas on the top. There's kind of a very floral element to this beer. There's a fruity orange juice kind of like element on the nose. Very, very interesting sort of perfumey floral aroma on the nose. Kind of like want to take a sip of that because the head's nice and densely compact all of a sudden. Anyway, cheers, and let's give this one a go. Wow, that's a different beer altogether. I'm thinking pineapple juice. I'm thinking like mild element of white grapefruit juice going on in there. I'm thinking this is a juicy beer, really juicy. That's lovely. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to have to look this up. But I wouldn't be surprised. Some hops, and I can't think which ones, do have like a rose petal aroma to them and a bit of a flavor of it as well. And maybe I'm just getting it wrong, or there's a bit of passion fruit here, but there's kind of like that semi-pungent aroma of rose in here. Maybe I'm getting that completely wrong. Beautiful beer, absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. I would 100% drink this beer in a craft beer bar any day of the week. That's fantastic. And it knocks the floor off of beers like Brewdog Punk AF, which is just overly hopped, overly bittered, far too many hops in it. For my liking anyway. I mean, some people like that idea of like big blast of hops, but it doesn't really have anything else. This is a decadent, delicate but refined and highly expressive beer. Let me see. So it's managed to do that thing where I'm not focusing on what is it missing in terms of the alcohol. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think that's fantastic beer. Let me just take a minute and think about that. There is kind of like a white grapefruit juice element to it. There is kind of like a subdued, like tropical fruit juice element going on in there as well. It's definitely on the soft, pillowy, lack of bitterness end of things in terms of it being, you know, similar to like alcoholic beer in terms that it has, in the sense that it has, you know, all of the hops added in kind of like at the dry hop end of things. Maybe some white grape, I don't know. Lychee might be in it. Citra might be a hop in this beer. I feel like Citra is in this beer. We'll see. If I can find out what hops are in it, I'll put them up. I feel like I'm getting lychee. I'm also feeling like, you know, it's along that sabro sort of route of things where it's just different to all the tropical fruits. It's got a more of like a Caribbean feel or something like that. But it's unique. It's totally unique. I promise you've not had a beer taste like that before. And that's the second beer from Lervig in the non-alcoholic range that I've tried. That's the second time that I've said that about both of those beers. So in terms of like giving you full-on flavor blast, this is absolutely fantastic. Feels like there's a bit of, I'm just going to go ahead and say I think there's some sort of rose petal element to the hop profile. Maybe it's too cold and I'm not smelling it right. I could go on smelling it for days and days. Let me pour in the rest of the can. It's cold. It's really cold. Peach. There, I think I've got another descriptor in there. I think peach is in here. I think there's mountains and mountains of peach in there. I've just suddenly come to that sort of, peach has a perfume to it. And that is what I think that I've been smelling all along, possibly. So obviously peach is like a flavor descriptor from types of hops like Amarillo, stone fruit, any sort of hops that has stone fruit in it. This is absolutely peachy, really fresh, ripe peaches. I'm glad I persevered because it was confusing for a while. That's stunning. That is absolutely stunning. Anyway, I won't go on about it anymore, but I will say I challenge you to pick this beer up and try it because I think I stick my neck out. Like, you know, the person that gave me this beer, Darren McGovern, I've no allegiance or no sort of real reason for me to say, yeah, I really like that beer. If I thought it was a bad beer, I would absolutely 100% say it, or I would critique it in a constructive manner. The only thing I can say about this beer is it's perfect, absolutely perfect. And if I was out drinking some beers, I'd gladly add this in, even if I'm not the designated driver. So peach, it's peach and rose, I'm going to say it again. Anyway, cheers, Slancha, and go get this beer. Bye.